Hey everyone, welcome to the nightly vid. We're gonna start with the SPY. So we did not have a nightly vid last night. We didn't really have much to add. You'll see SPY still an inside week, Qs still an inside week, IDBM still an inside week. So you got to change that, and then we can start talking. For now, there's just nowhere near changing it. That being said, Dow did take last week's highs, but comes back right away. So from now, the most 2s and 2s going 3 don't exist. We just have mostly inside weeks. So not much going on this week to start. That being said, we do have a lot of inside bars. We had about 130 names in the S&P 500 going inside today. So you'll see the SPY inside day. We do have some slight gaps down with some NVIDIA news, some tech stuff, and we will have a few earnings tomorrow with gaps. But we'll see, right? So if we gap down tomorrow, we prefer gap down buy. Just because we're chopping them up, we'd prefer to go the other way, but we'll see how they open. Qs will also have the inside day. And then IDBM and Dow Jones will both be 2 up, closer to 2 down for a 2-2 on the third day of the week. We do have a short week this week, so we are more likely to get a lot of inside bars, which is actually a good thing because we haven't had an inside bar since, the big puke previously. So we had the inside bar down here in the Dow and then puke. Inside bar, puke. We need another one, right? In the Dow, we're probably not going to get one, but the rest of the market, we can still get those inside weeks. So we'll see what comes of it. That being said, semis will be an inside day, closer to a gigantic pivot machine gun. So we'll be watching that tomorrow. We'll have technologies inside day, also closer to a really big pivot machine gun. So we will be watching. We're just aware that we're inside week. So we're going to let the market tell us. We don't tell the market. That being said, you'll have NVIDIA inside day with Gapper tomorrow, so we'll see where they're opening. Last I checked, they're about like 105, 106, so gapping down into here. Nowhere near taking any of these guys out if we open anywhere near that. That being said, you'll see AMD inside day, Marvell with a 131 day and a gigantic pivot machine gun. And if they're going to take them all out, it might look like that first. If we go to MU, big inside day here, right? And then also nice pivot machine gun. So we'll be watching that for sure in the semis and tech with some news. And that's where we're most likely to get those moves. That being said, to start the week, relative strength goes to your telecommunications from the weekend vid. AT&T, see the 3-2-2 week working their way back through this thing. Anytime we're above this, 27.23, we'd like to know about that. Verizon, you'll see the 3-2-2 week working their way back through the mother bar. So if this works, we'd be going up there. 47.33. So we still have, a ways to go. If we go to T-Mobile, you'll see a little stronger, but no, not at the highs yet. So we're looking for it up in there. And this is all from the weekend vid. So I'll see if we can start coming back through those guys. It's just gonna be continuation, but that's your strat attack. That's where we see it. We also did see a little bit of utilities, but little bit weaker. They might be 2-2 down tomorrow. We did see Staples going with the utilities as well. They also have the inside day, closer to an inside down. So unless we can start rev stratting this to confirm the 2-2 week, they have the inside down to negate it. So we'll be watching that. We do have some staples on our list from the weekend vid, which includes things like Coca-Cola, like Philip Morris, which was strong today on the strat attack list. It's going to be like MO, which you'll see was still stronger today on the strat attack list. 2 up to start the week. You'll have Mondelez, which is closer to the inside down like the rest of the staples. And then you also have stuff like Walmart, a little bit closer to a 2-2 down to negate, potentially reclaim the scenario 3 on the weekend here. It is still back into this big weekly triangle. So you'd have to see that stay and work to go 2 up in red, maybe set up a 2-2 for next week. I doubt it's going through this week. If we go to Costco, it's going to be a similar look. Just took last week's highs and maybe a 2-2 down tomorrow. So we got a lot of maybes. The semis likely to have more movement, and then utilities, specifically your telecom, we know on the upside. And outside of that, the gold and silver, they did go 2-2 on a Tuesday, so they're still buying those materials slash precious metals mostly. Silver does start as inside week and up, so we want to know about those guys. And then the only other inside days you're going to have are a lot of energies. So you'll see XLE closer to inside down, which would confirm a inside quarter down. They are kind of lacking pivot targets down and left, but they are bright red. So potentially that gets worse. If we go to XOP, see, it's actually taken the year rev strat down, which has already hit its target, but also inside day, which will tell you things like CVX inside day. You'll see the bright red 2-2 month to the downside. It's a rev strat, the 2-2 quarter down, as well as the outside year to the downside. So maybe that gets worse. Or you've got this broadening formation we might come back through. Go to XOM, still an inside year, but you'll see 3-2 reversal month. And you will have a 2 up and red shooter day. So we'll be watching that, right? Tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll have those energy numbers coming out. Tells us US oil, which is also an inside day. You'll just see they're everywhere. We got a US oil. They're starting inside day down. So we might have a gap tomorrow morning. But that is what we're working with tonight. Just given that things are starting to dry up a bit, we want to stick on those gaps, and we're going to look for simultaneous breaks as we do on the 30-60s to confirm and negate what we've talked about here and over the weekend. So that's the plan. And, you know, if you hold off just because there's a lot of inside bars, that's fine. You might not take a good trade till Thursday, so no shame in that. We'll see what the gaps got for us tomorrow. But that's all I've got. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys bright and early in the morning if you're in stat, and if you're not, I'll see you guys in tomorrow night's nightly vid.